That shit is happening with changing the subject too with the God podcast, Joe Rogan,
the Godcast.
the Godcast. Hey, I don't know. Yeah, he said some crazy shit,
What do you
but
think about it?
I believe that. Well, all the things that he said, some of them, at least the ones that I've seen, I don't know the guy, but the ones that I seen, he never said it out of like, how can I say this very delicate? Like no hatred and no, not calling somebody that word.
Yeah.
It was always it was meant to take out of context.
Yeah.
But there is some footages that it looks like he's making fun of the word or
Yeah.
sounds like he's making fun of the word,
No, not making fun of the word, making fun of
using the word to be fun, to be
yeah,
funny.
yeah. I don't look.
I don't know. I mean,
Bro. You know me. You're my brother. Obviously, you know me. I've been listening to Joe Rogan since episodes hundreds.
yeah.
Like I've been listening to him for a long fucking time. So I'm a fan of the guy.
Yeah.
Has he say things that I don't agree with? Absolutely.
Oh, a bunch of times.
It's a bunch of shit that I disagree with him on. Most of the things I agree with him in political spectrum and the thing you believe in, everything, whatever it is, right? But and I understand too what like he said himself, he fucked up, said what he said. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to use that word. He just even if it's in context, you can just say the N word.
The N word, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but especially when you're doing it on a podcast.
Yeah, I think it was the days that he was doing
Yeah.
it lives, right?
Yeah.
Live. I think that's what it was.
No. But even after that, when it wasn't live, he was saying it.
Yeah, you see, so that's something that somebody should tell him, like, yo, I don't think you should say that.
Yeah.
It also depends too. I mean, not that it saves it, because I mean, you shouldn't even say it, and I don't think nobody should say it anyways. At least with that ER, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he said those.
Yeah, I think he did. But to be fair, he did say it with context.
Yeah, he said
He
it.
said it with context.
With context,
And that's
it
a
was
big
taken out of context.
That's a big difference
Then-
compared to somebody just going out there and saying that you're
Saying-
that person. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, I don't think like canceling him or censoring him.
no,
like,
it's not gonna happen. They're not gonna cancel Joe Rogan.
but the fact that, and I don't think, to be clear, I don't think it's the people trying to cancel him. I don't think it's people doing it. Like people on Twitter.
but he's too powerful.
All right, and if there is, they're very minute. It's very little people,
That's a nice word. What is that? Minute?
I don't know if I used it right, but I was like, I gotta put that in there.
Okay, minute. What does that mean?
Like minor, right? And I don't know. I probably used it wrong. We're gonna have to bleep that out.
It sounded like you were saying like minor and mute, like they were staying on the low.
Let me see now. You got me.
Minute. It sounds like minute. Did you try to say minute? Minute, MINUTE.
No.
Minute.
It says right there, a period of time equal to 60. No, see? I used it wrong.
Minute.
I used it wrong.
You tried to say minute. You just said it differently.
No.
Minute. You wrote minute. Minute. Is that what you tried to say? You fucking idiot. What the fuck? That word does not exist.
You're right. I don't know.
Minute.
I
What
heard it
is that?
somewhere. I heard it somewhere.
Minute.
I heard that word somewhere, and I've heard people use it in a sentence, and similar to what I'm saying.
Minority? Me?
I don't know.
Minute. It might be a word. Degree, angular measurement. 60 seconds, minute.
Like, what am I doing? Damn. I don't even know what word it is.
You came up with a new word, dude. In the Western Dictionary.
Hey, come here. But like I was saying, like I think it's not majority. It's not the public trying to cancel him or like saying like, oh, we'll get him off. I think it's like I think it's all these like news outlet and the media and all these people that like, because they see how Joe Rogan is so powerful.
Oh, hell
without needing this big machine behind them.
Yeah.
They see that this guy just sits down, turns on camera and a mic, and
influences so many people
yeah,
and talks to people that they're not even in the fucking media. So the media, this is good for the media. For
this guy interviewed more people than the media fucking pretty much does. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what it is, and I kind of agree with like Spotify not to take him down because
no, they shouldn't.
That's not gonna change anything. I think it's even gonna make things worse.
Of course it is.
You know what I'm saying? Especially somebody like him that has the most popular podcast
and this is the problem because the media has created this for themselves. Like this reputation that the media has right now, whether it's against or for Biden or Trump or whomever is the next president of the United States or whatever is going on in the world.
It's weird. They turned too. Well, I guess they were always like that, but they went too political on everything.
Too much
on everything
because they saw the gain. Because Trump, let's be honest, Trump made it so fucking good and crispy being a politician or trying to be
mainly
one.
Because they had more
shit to talk about.
Yeah,
be honest.
He gave
more
shit
content. They had something to talk about every single fucking day.
Yeah.
Right? Trump was something or someone that it was giving them content.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But they overused that content so much that infuriated a lot of people that was on the opposite side.
Yeah.
And it should have never gone that way too much because the media was like fighting. Some channels turned into hey, look, man, fuck it. Fox was, it looked like it was backing up the Republicans, and then CNN, it looked like they were backing up the fucking
and it's
Democrats.
always been like that. Like I'm not sitting here and saying like a news outlet. It's never gonna be by how do you call that?
Bias?
Yeah, biased.
No, it's not.
Everybody's biased.
Yeah,
and the whole fucking planet, whoever you are, you're listening right now. You're a biased person.
Yeah,
no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I'm saying is, I don't know, just moving away from that because we're not talking about that at the moment. We're talking about the Rogan thing. I just don't think it's a good idea to take him out. Like Spotify and Rogan supposedly was the one that took out all the videos out and all the things. I don't even think that was a good idea.
No,
deleting those videos.
No,
if you wanna bleep it or something, maybe go back on the episode and bleep those parts or re-edit those episodes and then re-upload them.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think most of those, because a lot of those episodes it's over 100 episodes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a lot of episodes. Yeah. And Rogan is Rogan, man. Like, Rogan has been, I think Rogan has done more good things than bad things or mistakes as of podcasts.
For the podcast industry.
For the podcast, you know what I mean? Like, I learned a lot about fucking, it may be funny, but like UFOs. I learned about dinosaurs. I learned a lot about fucking the space.
I learned a lot about UFC by listening to his companion.
UFC and his comedy. His comedy too. His comedy too is good.
He's all right.
No.
He's not that funny.
He's funny. He's funnier when he screams though.
On his comedy, like his thing. I watch it because it's Rogan, but
nah, I seen that one on Netflix. Is that one's pretty funny. I like it. Everybody got different tastes, but I liked it.
But like, I don't know. I just don't think that they're gonna go to. It's gonna, if it does get to that, then I disagree. Whatever. The Spotify does have the right to get rid of them if they want.
There's no way. It's $100 million.
But that's my thing too. When people be like, "Oh, yeah, you see, Spotify's back," and they're not doing it because they care about you. They're doing it because they invested $100 million to this one person. Yeah, they don't give a fuck what you think. No. They're just
you think Netflix cared about what the hell was happening? Yeah. And they were gonna get rid of Dave Chappelle. You know how many millions there was in there? Most likely more than 100.
Yeah, this corporation is like they're gonna sugarcoat some stuff here and there. Yeah. They're gonna fire like little people that don't fit into this box that is mainstream.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, they're gonna fire them. But there's some power machines that you just can't do that to.
You just can't do anything.
Especially if you're a corporation and you invest so much money. If you invest 6 digits into one
Human being.
into one human or even one concept, because in reality, the Joe Rogan experience is a concept.
Yeah,
this is a concept. Netflix specials, Dave Chappelle, that's a concept.
Right.
So like you investing into that one concept, more than $100 million, because I think it's more than $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that you're gonna be like, yeah, Rogan, sorry. Just because these people, 1,000 people on Twitter tweeted this hashtag, I'm gonna have to fire you.
Yeah, no. That's
no, I invested $100 million in you. We're gonna navigate through this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
it's true. It's
like
true. It's honest. I believe the only ones that can probably there's a big probably fucking try to cancel somebody is maybe actors or shit like that. Like, you do something and you're part of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, out. but the reason why that it's more relevant, it happens more is because you're only investing 20, 30 millions in an actor. Yes. But if that movie goes good, you're gonna make hundreds of millions. Think about Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's just say one of the actors in there did something stupid, and they're like, you're fired. A lot of people would be mad. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, they're not gonna care because they made $1 billion out of a movie that they invested $200 million in.
Yeah,
they don't give a fuck. They'll fire anybody that has $1 million that they invested $1 million in or $20 million in.
Yeah, because it's nothing. Fuck. It's fucking pocket change.
But you know what I'm saying? But Spotify is it's not a Hollywood either. Spotify it's a big thing in music, and they're trying to get into podcasts, and they invested $100 million in one person. Impossible. They're gonna.
The other day, I got an email from Spotify. Like, I'm pretty sure, obviously, they send it to everybody, podcasting, whatever. Like that, they're changing a bunch of things.
Yeah.
About podcasting and everything. And I heard I didn't hear an article. I read an article that most likely in a couple of years they're gonna do everything is gonna be fucking videos, and you're gonna be able to start putting videos on Spotify and everything. So like they changing the criteria of podcasting. The only thing that is left over now is that Netflix, fucking Amazon Prime, HBO, and everything, they start opening their own section of podcasting, and that will be live TV.
I don't think that's gonna happen,
bro. Think about it.
The only people that benefit from doing that is people like Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, Tidal. But Netflix, they're not. What they're gonna make in a podcast is like little ant money compared to what they're gonna make.
Yeah, I know, movies. But still, like that will be fucking.
I mean, okay,
like a show.
I mean, Netflix has a fucking gaming section now, so
yeah. I mean, the floor is lava. Netflix, what are we doing? Interesting.
Yeah.
But what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, how about you buy the rights to fucking own Gordon Ramsay? Now, that's TV.
I think that's the future. Instead of investing in ideas, they're going to start investing in people. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason why is because it's the stream wars, and now the podcast wars is going on. Apple... any minute now, they're going to start having Apple exclusive podcasts. If not, they probably do already. But they're going to start getting rolling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Spotify, they already have this exclusive ones. And to their exclusive Spotify podcasters, they give them video.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, for them to invest $100 million into that, and to even go and approach the most popular podcast in the world, it's...
Yeah, I wonder how the negotiation went, because that must have been interesting.
I think personally
to catch Rogan's interest.
Yeah, but I think Rogan made a mistake doing that.
Oh yeah,
I think he made a mistake going. I mean, it's his money; he does whatever he wants. But I think he made a mistake because he is compromising his independence.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because all of this thing has been happening since.
Yeah, like and. You're not 100% independent when you're like, you got to go through YouTube because even YouTube regulates. But like you in Spotify, now you have a boss that's paying you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now it's just, you're in that bracket now.
Those Spotify is like, all right, no, you can do whatever you want, bring whoever you like. Great. But what happened now? This is always gonna happen because Spotify is a corporation and it's what best fits their interest.
Joe
No
Rogan.
matter what.
Joe Rogan.
Now they're not gonna fire him because their interest is also those $100 million they invested in him.
There's
But-
probably in the contract something he has to do it.
Yeah.
He had to. If I was him, I would have done it. But like, if you fire me or whatever, I get to take the whole money.
No, of course. No, but I think that's contract and everything because right there, Spotify is breaching the contract. Is breaking the contract by doing that.
By
Firing him. Just like Rogan leaving Spotify, he's breaking the contract. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing.
Damn, that's
Where it's
crazy.
good both ways. They're both protected in that way.
That's
But I don't know. I just don't. I don't see Rogan going anywhere. I see him probably just going through a slippery slope right now, and then he's just gonna keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think what he did, like making that video, apologizing,
That was very smart.
that's it's not that it's smart. It's just what everybody should do.
No, it was.
Like I like personally,
marketing wise, how
Not
long
even
the video
marketing,
was.
just because you got on like. I don't like personally when people like they get quote unquote canceled, whatever, and then they double down and they're like, oh, well, I'm gonna be worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that then I don't care what happens to you at that point. Whatever. Then if you get canceled, you get canceled. If you don't, you don't. I don't give a fuck. But like, people when you accept your mistake and you're like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I did some shit. My fault. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Let's move on. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with that?
yeah.
Like, what do you think? Like, cancel culture is like a new concept? Because I personally think it's been around for a long time.
No, it is a new concept.
You think so?
It is because comedians back then there was nothing. There was no problem. You can make fun of Hispanics. You can use the S word. You can use the N word. You can use the C word. You can use the CH word on Asians, on all these different ethnicities, and it was no problem because everybody knew that it was comedy.
Yeah.
And everybody, especially back then, everybody had a backbone. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, not everybody's born with one.
I mean,
like, everybody gets affected and gets touched. Ooh, not that word. Gets well, some of them get touched.
some of them.
But you know, it affects them more than some other people. I believe that because when I was in my country and everything, it was just completely different. Like especially in my country in South America is a place where racism is huge, and you see it everywhere. You see it everywhere, and you see it in places that you wouldn't even believe. But like for example, Peru is such a place that is so mixed, and that is overpowered by people that are mixed, that people of white color, and you see them speaking Spanish or whatever, but they do think, some of them think that they're superior than others.
Yeah.
But that gives you that backbone on to be like, if something's I don't know. I'm trying to explain that like in my country, like when they make fun of me or whatever, like it's not to hurt you unless you feel it. Like it's something that you gotta feel. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like, for example, what happened with Dave Chappelle, right? And then there were people getting mad. Like, you know what you're looking at, right?
Yeah.
Like we know Dave's comedy. So, I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah.
If you don't like it, simply do not watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just don't. If you don't like what he says, go to your town, grab 5 of your friends, and make a fucking little parade in the corner right next to the mailbox and make it happen. But that does not mean that when a comedian goes out there and says things that he wants to express a joke or say something, does not mean that he's attacking you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
because I don't want people to be canceled because of creativity, right? Because that's something that I don't appreciate personally, because then it stops you and it blocks you from thinking more.
And I understand that, and I agree with you with the most part, but I think that like if you're that type of comic that is gonna go for those bad reactions, or you're gonna go for using the C word, the N word, or whatever word for exclusivity of comedy, then if that's all you know to be funny, then I don't think you're a comedian.
No. So
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
but at the same time, I do want to clarify that jokes are jokes.
Jokes
You know
are
what I'm
jokes,
saying?
yeah.
Jokes are jokes, of course, and we all gotta learn to understand that. And that's in my opinion that's never gonna go away. I personally think that cancel culture is just it's not like a brand new thing, like a thing. It's just a thing that's it's not that it's brand new.
Right.
It's something that's been newly over overused and
Yeah. Yeah.
because I think that cancel culture has been around for a long time. Like with they did it with rock music. People used to say is the devil's music, and there was like a whole time that they literally canceled rock music because it was the devil's music, and
Have you
they
ever
got
heard of
canceled.
Have you ever heard of Don Rickles?
No.
Okay, so he's a comedian for like 60 like Sinatra days type of shit. Like
Mhm.
he was best friend with Sinatra and everything.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And like some of his jokes, they're pretty hard. Like
Mhm.
if you look at him now, like he's making fun of a black dude, another black comedian, right in front of him, in a fucking room full of people.
I know
And-
exactly what you're talking about.
And another about Asians, another about
I know exactly what you're
so
talking about.
that was the times. That's why people always compare it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because we have to accept that times have changed it, and we also have to learn to adapt. Right?
Times do
Like,
change.
Times do change, and
Agree.
that's what we gotta do. But there's also the times, because everything has a time, right? When it's time to eat, you eat. When it's time to do your whatever homework, you eat. I sound like a father. When it's time to whatever, there's times when you in a comedy club and somebody's making comedy. What do you expect?
Yeah, but it's
Now,
also
I know. Now, if you see there a white dude, right, coming out doing a joke and saying that N word and saying that whatever word and all this shit and whatever, like, hey, we got a problem now. Because then you also got to feel the comedy, right? You also got to, you
Yes.
also
that
gotta
is
be
the
able,
very important thing.
you also got to be able to feel the joke coming and the comedy, because if somebody's just going up there and it's could be famous or not famous and fucking talking and saying all these words and like, okay, I'm getting uncomfortable now. But if you're getting uncomfortable because it's making you uncomfortable because you don't like what he said, then maybe it's not the place for you.
Yeah, that is 100% right. Like I understand that when you go to comedy and you want to watch a comedy show, you know where you're gonna go for, especially if you go to Dave Chappelle or Andrew Schultz and things like that. Like
Yeah.
those type of comedians, they're hard on comedians. They're gonna do dark jokes,
Mhm.
right? But it's that doesn't mean that also comedy shows are a safe haven for derogatory terms or being racist. Like
No,
if you're
it's
gonna
not.
make that joke, make it funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if it's
Exactly.
funny, then we all have the right to laugh at a funny
Exactly.
joke.
If it's funny, it's
There's
funny.
nothing wrong with that.
Yes, like for example, there is like a quote unquote rule that you make fun of your own race,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you will be fine. No, you won't.
Mm-hmm.
No, you fucking won't. Because I joke around with all my friends and people that I know, like, oh, boom, boom, oh, and I have a bunch of friends that are white. I'm like, oh yeah, you fucking, white or whatever, and they be like, oh yeah, you fucking and whatever. But it's fine because I know it that it comes from them. It's like us, we just joke around, whatever.
Yeah.
But if another person comes, right, and I start fucking calling all these people that I know, all my black friends, whatever, and it was like, hey man,
Yep.
we're about to jump your ass, bro.
Mhm.
Like, this is different.
This
And
un-
even if I don't know that person and my friend does know, and they're gonna like, yo, no. All right, we
Yeah.
good. Because it's like you gotta have that type of like. I'm not saying like, yo, when you're with your friends, you can say the N word and whatever. But
No.
yeah, I'm not saying that.
I like what I think like language, personally, like language, which is why like it's so cancel culture is like such a thing, and it's been, this is why I think it's been like a long time, right? Like language is a thing that it's part of humanity for as long as we know.
Yeah.
It's been since the beginning of time. There's been the language. And the language is the way we communicate with each other, the way we interact, the way society moves with us, right? So now, of course, over time, that language is going to evolve as we evolve, as we learn to be more accepting with other things, or as we learn to be more whatever it is with whatever we evolve with, language is going to evolve with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For example, perfect example, right? The United States is notorious in having a troubled past, right? With the way they were, right? I bet you as soon as they allowed black people to vote, there was a lot of people saying like, oh no, whoever voted for that bill has to go out.
Yeah,
Whoever
of course.
that's cancel culture. That's like, and they were trying to why? Because it was a time was shifting, things were changing.
I guess.
Society was changing, and those people were learning to adapt. We are experiencing a time of change.
At this moment,
we're literally experiencing. We've been experiencing that for the past 10 years, probably.
About.
And literally, gay people were just allowed to get married. Literally, like what, 6 years ago?
Yeah, a black man allowed it.
You know, like we're literally in the middle of one of the most cultural shifting moment in American history or in human history and throughout. Yeah. Like, this is one of those moments, just like when slavery was abolished. This was one of those moments. Yeah, this is one of those moments.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So we're gonna have people being like, oh no. Right. There's gonna be those people, but majority of people are gonna move on.
Yeah.
So what do you want? What do you like? What should we do at that point? Like, I think we have to find a balance. You know what I'm saying? Like in Star Wars, find a balance in the Force. Nah,